For those who were delighted to read that title, I'm sorry, that was just clickbait. I'm not going anywhere. So, I've been gone for way too long. I owe you an explanation. Whenever I tweet something, I get a bunch of questions regarding this. So, I thought I'll just make a video. So, what really happened to Technology Jock? So, until March 2020, I used to upload like 10 to 15 videos a month consistently. You know the kind of effort that goes into each and every video on our channel. I just wanted to take a short break at that time, like 10 to 15 days, not much. Even those 15 days, I couldn't completely stay away from YouTube. I just did something different. I shot 2 videos surrounding my home theater setup because it didn't feel like work. And bam, they really took off. And soon after COVID struck India, made a video on that as well. A lot of people called it clickbait back then, but now the way things turned out, I feel 1 lakh deaths would have been much better. It's just sad. Anyway, just when I got back from the break, boom, lockdown. How did that affect the channel? Well, apart from YouTube, I also run a company. It's a financial intermediary company. My father, who is a stock market trader, also runs a company. And due to the lockdown, none of the employees of both the companies could come to work. Basically, I wasn't very involved in the operations of these companies. Things weren't very efficient back then, so we couldn't even facilitate work from home for the employees. There were many other issues as well. So basically, I had to do a huge chunk of the work that multiple employees were doing prior to the lockdown. In the meantime, we decided to start a YouTube channel for my father. He's basically a wizard, a genius in the field of stock market. So that kind of bang turned out to be one of the fastest growing channels in the field of stock market, which was good on one hand, but on the other hand, a lot more work for me. Since then, I've been handling operations, strategy, content, and handle tech to some extent for both the companies. This was a big deal for me because, these were untested waters for me until 1.5 years ago. I had to adapt really quick, but I'm happy I did. We hired around 8 people, hired 2 guys for our channel as well. Things were settling down slowly and steadily. That's when we as a team started uploading many videos again. We were quite active in Jan, Feb, March of this year. And on the other side, our companies were also doing well. And then there was another quick boom in our business. So we had to hire more people. And guess what happened next? Second lockdown. This time we were a little more prepared. We arranged work from home for most employees. It wasn't as bad as the previous year, but still quite bad. I couldn't hire anybody during the full lockdown. So once again, I ended up doing like 3 people's work all by myself, like all day, all night. The lockdown was pretty strict, so I couldn't even come to the office to get work done. I sent my videographer back to his native, and as you know, videography is not something you can do remotely. So that's when the channel activity came to a halt. It wasn't just about that though, it was more about the tragic events around us. One of our most important employees lost a family member, and with all the terrible things going on in the country, things were hard. Everything was falling apart. People around me were falling ill, whom we couldn't even visit. That's the worst part, I'm sure this is something almost all of you faced. Tough times. Luckily, financially, we were doing very well. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case for most people out there. So we wanted to, just extend a helping hand. So we served food for about 60, 70 hardest working people in the society. We bought a lot of essential things for this women's hostel in our area, paid tuition fees for a few underprivileged children. My father donated a huge chunk of his stock market earnings to PM Cares Fund, CM Relief Fund, etc. So we kind of got held up on that end. We started a charitable trust in my mother's name. We made some contributions here and there, whatever we could to make some impact, even if it's very small. We are planning big things though. We have got big ambitions. Can we become Mr. Beast? Probably not, but yeah. So basically, I've been held up. At least last year I had time to upload like 2 or 3 videos a month, but this year after the second lockdown, it's been quite hectic. The past 1 month, though, I haven't been very busy. Things have settled down a bit. Everything's running quite smoothly. And I finally found time to make videos. Now, of course, this whole story may be irrelevant to you. You may be like, dude, I don't care. But there is another thing which you definitely care about. It's about how and why I still want to make tech videos despite having so many other things on my plate. Reason number one, passion. That's always there. But reason number two is even more important. It's about how YouTube is void of genuine reviews. Like recently, a few of my friends wanted to know about the Nord 2, during the launch. They were seriously considering it. So I watched a lot of reviews, that came out during the launch time, and barely one or two reviews felt genuine. Even some of the genuine reviewers that I usually trust, they tend to slightly sugarcoat the flaws. Maybe not intentionally, but I somewhat feel there is a bit of fear of getting blacklisted by brands. Like, what if we call them out? What if they blacklist us? What if they don't send us the review units? Either they sugarcoat the flaws, like they don't really tell you or explain you how bad some features are, or they don't even test the phone properly. Most YouTubers belong to the second category. They just want to get the review out as early as possible. A few months back, I think I saw some YouTuber post like 9 or 10 reviews in a month. I'm not even kidding. And no, I'm not going to name them. So, you know what? I decided to buy the Nord 2 and review it myself. And while using it, I found quite a few flaws or limitations, and I realized some of them were not covered in any review video that I watched. Any video that I watched. Of course, I may not have watched all the Nord 2 reviews. So, staying away from YouTube for a while gave me a bit of clarity on these things. I started watching videos as a true consumer. So, from a consumer point of view, I realized this isn't great. This is not what consumers should be watching. There is barely one or two YouTubers who properly test devices, who are honest and don't care about review units. Now, all that being said, I will still not be able to, be as active on YouTube as I used to be or as I would like to be. I'll be looking to make a few good quality videos a month. And of course, the first preference goes to phone reviews. I believe they're the most important. So, there you have it. All those who were curious about what happened to technology Jock, you have an answer now, and I'll continue to make videos. Good ones, I promise. Thanks for watching. See you in the Nord 2 review video, which should be out in a few days. Bye and take care.